How to be vegan in a family that does not accept this type of act. This type of act meaning being against violence, unnecessary harm, murder, things like that. Just to be clear, if you're living in a family that is against that is against taking a position against oppression, then what you need to do is you need to figure out what your values are as an individual and then behave based on that. You might be living in a family that is full of racists. Are you going to continue to be a racist as well? Or are you going to at some point realize that that's not good, it's unethical, and you're going to change your position on that and then act accordingly? So same thing when it comes to the animals. If your family is for oppression and violence and cruelty, and at some point you realize that that's unethical and you want to take a stance on it, then you go vegan and you align your values with your behavior. And then all you can do with your family is to educate them and tell them why you've taken this position, and then the rest is up to them. So they may not be ready when you're ready to take action, but what you can do is to continue to educate them until they get it, and be aware that they may never get it, or it might take a very long time, but that doesn't mean that you have to go back on your own values. Your family and their behavior and their values doesn't necessarily need to reflect on you. And regardless of how old you are, if you're old enough to ask this question, that means that you can understand these things. And even as a younger individual, you have the right to decide on this, and your family needs to respect that and appreciate that. I'm vegan, but when I tell my friends to become vegan, they just laugh and say that's dumb. So you have to understand that just because you decided to wake up and accept the truth doesn't mean that everyone around you is ready as well. So you're going to have to make a decision. Do you want to keep these people in your life or you don't? It could be your friends, it could be classmates, it could be work colleagues, it could be family members. You have got to the point where you have made this decision that you want to be vegan, and you know that that's the right thing to do, but then not everyone is on your level when it comes to that, so they may not be ready. What you can do is, if you choose that you still want to have them in your life, you can continue to educate them, like I was saying before, send them information, show them documentaries, have conversations with them, ask questions, let them think. But that's all you can do. And then beyond that, you are going to have to decide. If people around me were actually mocking me and laughing at me, if they were that illogical and irrational and stupid that they would make fun of this, I don't think that I would keep them in my life. I do have friends in my life right now that are not vegan. The boundaries are very clear with them, and one day I may decide that I don't want to be friends with them anymore, right? I have accepted that these people are not ready to be vegan, and then I have made this decision that I may talk to them sometimes or hang out with them knowing that they're not vegan, but then when they're around me, there are certain boundaries in place. That's what I recommend for you. You have to decide. Just think about it for a while and see if these people add any value to your life, and if you want to keep them. I mean, somebody who's making fun of you for being someone who's against oppression and cruelty, you're gonna have to think about them and whether they belong in your life or not. It could be a friend that you've had in your life for 20 years, I know that, but them not being ready to be vegan is one thing, but them making fun of you and telling you that you're dumb and you're stupid is another thing. So educate them, but also just have a think about your values and whether you want to keep these people in your life or not. I think the main reason why that happens is because people have guilt. They know you're doing the right thing and they feel guilty, even if you don't point it out, but they feel guilty. I'm sure you've all heard non-vegans say to us, "Oh, you think vegans are so much better than us?" Yes, we are in that regard. Yes, we are. There's nothing wrong with that. We are better in the way that we respect animals' rights. Their right to be free and liberated and to live their life. So that does make us better just in that regard. And the reason why they feel that way, these non-vegans, is because they feel that deep down they have the same values, which is being anti-oppression, but then they haven't aligned those values with their behavior and with their actions. And that's why I guess they get defensive. They might be feeling jealous. They're feeling guilty because you have done that. And for whatever reason, they think they can't do it because they're too weak. But everyone can do it. We know that everyone can make that change in their life. And I think what happens is they try to either mock you, they make fun of you, they may insult you, or they remove you from social media. They don't want to invite you, they don't want to hang out with you. So all of these things are expected. But what happens is you start to maybe attract people that are like yourself, because you know that you're doing the right thing. I didn't go vegan to be popular. Did anyone here go vegan to be popular or to be able to date more girls or guys? I don't think so. I always think that it's better to have one friend that gets me and is on my level than to have 50 friends that I can't stand, or they just live in a different world when it comes to values. So after some time, I'm sure you'll start to attract like-minded people, but in the meantime, just know that you're doing the right thing. And even if family members and friends start to kind of remove you from their lives, just see that as a good thing and know that you're triggering something inside of them. You're definitely making them think. This has happened to me as well. People that would get into arguments, friends from before I went vegan. And then after I went vegan, they would get into arguments with me on social media. And then what they would do, they would block me and they would never want to talk to me ever again, just because I responded to their stupid arguments. So I know that I'm doing it right and I'm making them think. And until they're ready to face the hypocrisy within themselves, nobody can help them.